It is Saturday night here in San Antonio, Texas. It is March 30th, 2013, the day before Easter, the day before zombie Jesus comes to walk the earth. Justin, what is up, my brother?
Oh, Cody, it's just another night in paradise here in San Antonio, Texas.
Hell yeah, we be cracking beers up in the podcast cave for the Existential Nightmare. I love it. Love it. Been a pretty good week. Been a very, very good week for me.
Oh, really? Why is that, Cody?
It is one of my last weeks at the place I work at currently. And I'll be starting a new job in the following week, a much better paying job, better benefits, better all-around job. Got a bit of the working man blues. Everyone there is kind of, they're not really feeling it. Everyone's kind of bummed that I'm leaving and stuff. I mean, I don't want to sound, like pompous or anything. I mean, it's not like oh, the world's gonna end or anything. But no one wants to see a friend go. I would feel the same way if one of them was leaving. I'm a good talking buddy. I come in with a good attitude. I heard something a while ago where, like, it was on a podcast I'd been listening to where you just don't want to be that guy at work who comes in with that shitty attitude and doesn't want the day to go right and everything. You're just like, man, everything sucks today, every day. You want to be that guy who kind of lifts everyone's spirits. You want to be that guy. So for the longest time, ever since I started kind of turning things around in my life, I've been that guy. Because I was that guy. I was the guy who came in and was like, well, fuck this job, man. Everything sucks and I'm going to do a shitty job of it. So it's kind of hard. I could understand why these guys are like, they don't want to see me go. They know I'm a good hard worker. And if anyone's got a question, they can come to me. I'm pretty much the know-it-all guy when it comes to all the stuff there, how to take care of things. And, I'm going to miss them too. A lot of them are good chaps and they're good folks and they're good talkers and listeners, and I will miss saying good morning to most of them, but I will not miss going in at 2 in the fucking morning every day. So sick of it.
Yeah, my hat's off to you. I could not fucking do 2 in the morning unless I'm coming home from the bar and going home.
I've been doing this job for close to 6 years, on and off for 6 years. There was a period there where I was in the military, and then there was a period where I was moving away. And I didn't think it was possible to do the job. There was about a good year lapse where I just didn't work there at all. And I kept coming back and working there because it was just one of those jobs that was always there. They're nice folks and everything. And it's a paycheck, but it's not what they call a big boy job. And I need better things for myself, and I need to provide for my son. I'm a single father. For most of you who don't know that, I take care of my son. Me and his mother, we have a good standing relationship. We kind of pass them and back and forth, and we maintain a good friendship and try and keep things very civil. We don't seek child support. We don't fight for custody or anything. But in the records, I am the custodial parent.
Yeah, I mean you obviously have all of the rights as the single parent.
And not just that, it's my duties. I take the lead on stuff. I get him enrolled in school. I take him to his doctor appointments. I teach him the potty training. I teach him I cook him meals. I take care of him. I talk to him. I take him to the park. I do it all. I'm the Renaissance dad,
I don't know if I would say the Renaissance dad.
Not really the Renaissance dad.
Yeah,
I'm far from perfect.
You're way away from being the Renaissance dad.
I lack in a lot of things, but there's a lot of circumstances going on in my life, and there's no excuse to put your kid aside for that. But honestly, man, there's just so much going on right now in my life. It's hard to really put 100% into parenting, but I do the best I can, and I think I do a pretty decent job. I mean, he's a very happy kid.
You do a great job, but when I hear Renaissance guy, I'm thinking of Danny DeVito and Renaissance Man.
Who remembers that fucking flick? Holy wow.
Wow, did I just age myself?
Yeah, man, you just dropped a line there. But I do the best I can, and I'm sick of hearing about it's not that I'm sick of hearing it, but all the time it's with the single mothers and how hard they work and the single mother this and the single mother that, and I never hear a fucking dick about a single father. Never hear anything about the single father and where he is, because I guess we're a dying breed. When I went and applied for government assistance to help me with my son and everything, I was the only father there with my son by myself. It was either mothers or families, and that's fine and dandy and everything, but it's very bizarre to me that there aren't a lot of fathers out there who want to do what I do. Most of the guys, they want to go to the club, they want to hang out with the girls, bang the chicks, go to the strip club, hang out with their bros.
Well, hell, I want to do that too, Cody, but I'm married, so I can't.
Well, I'd like to, but I have my vices, and my vices are healthy vices. And until I can get everything ship shape, I don't really want to. Fun times, man. I mean, I had my partying, man. I had my Hunter Thompson days when I was younger.
So you mean to tell me that, you don't want to go to the clubs where you hear boom, boom, boom.
Well,
boom, 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 boom.
It's not that I totally don't want to. It just, I don't. I think too much about that kind of situation and the people that are there, and you're putting yourself in a boiling pot. I mean, you don't know what type of people you're around, and you never know what kind of shit's gonna happen. If I get shot and killed, who's gonna take care of my son?
No, I agree with that.
I'm thinking a lot about stuff like that, but I got so much on my plate right now, just between work, my son, and I go to the gym. I go to the gym all the fucking time. I mean, I do 3 days a week, every week. I take a week off every month just to recover and shit. Lately, I've kind of been hitting it pretty hard, hitting it very, very, very hard. And but that's my vice. That's what makes me feel good. When I go to the gym and get a good fucking swell on, it makes me feel good. They got the loud. It's kind of like a club. They got the loud music. They got the hot chicks. Dude, I can't even begin to tell you about the fucking girls that go in there. Girls, really, if you're going to go in there in those short spandex that fucking squeeze your beautiful ass and show us the shape of your wonderful little pussy lips, please just expect us to look. Expect us to gawk. I mean, we can't help it. That's how we're wired. I mean, dude, you wouldn't believe the girl that was in there the other day. You wouldn't believe it.
Well, why don't you tell me about her, Cody?
Well, no. There are all kinds of girls that come in there, but dude, I mean, this one in particular, very, very attractive girl, nice, slim, athletic, and just wearing the shortest fucking shorts, and you could make out the outline of her pussy, and you couldn't help but notice because you could tell it would have been the most perfect thing ever.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't not like I was totally staring, but dude, I mean,
You're a fucking liar.
You could look at every other guy in the vicinity, and I didn't catch a single one of them not looking.
You're a fucking liar, dude.
No, I mean, seriously, every single one of them, I didn't see a single one of them not give her a glance, dude. Just every time she got up. So, yeah, I guess it's like a club in a way. It's kind of nice and stuff. I've been hitting it really hard. I've been taking these testosterone boosters lately. It's called ZMK.
Yeah.
It's the alternative to ZMA, which is supposed to be a natural testosterone booster. And ZMK is an anabolic. You take about 4 of these fuckers, huge ass pills, before you go to bed, about a half hour, and they give you the craziest, most vivid fucking dreams, man. I mean, crazy. And I've tried Alpha Brain. Alpha Brain gives you good dreams, but this shit will fuck you up because you're fucking with your body's hormone levels and the imbalance. And I've just been having the craziest fucking dreams.
Really? Well, why don't you describe one?
It's the thing. I don't remember a lot of them. I do, but I push it out of my brain after that morning when I'm reflecting on it. It also drives my libido up the fucking wall, man. Holy shit.
Remind me not to bend over in front of you, man.
And it gets me fucking swole, man. I mean, I've been noticing a size change in my arms and my chest, and it's been getting me to where I want to go. I mean, that aside from the vitamins and the pre-workout supplements I take, the protein before and after, it's all kind of coming together. I feel good, and I think I'm looking better. I'm definitely getting stronger. I can tell my maxes are getting higher, and right now I just want to build a lot of muscle. I'd like to cut more weight before the summer, but yeah,
now before the show, you mentioned the fact that you actually tanned.
Yeah, I'd got a black card at my gym, which means that I now have tanning privileges and privileges to the massage table. The massage is good for muscles because and that's mostly why I did it.
Let me ask you a question: the massage table, because I know the gym you're going to.
Yeah,
we've been there before.
Yeah.
Do you have like some sweaty ass fat dude massaging you?
No.
Or is it the hot Chinese chick?
There's no person massaging you at all. It is a table that you lay down on, and it's a hydro massage, which means that you're basically laying on a tarp, and water shoots up at high pressure underneath, and it kind of works its way up and down your body, and you can kind of control the pressure and the power points through a computer screen that's right above you. And it's nice. You can play games, watch videos, listen to music. It's very comfortable, and it's nice. It's good for the muscles because it kind of works out Because basically when you're working out and you're getting your swell on, the only reason your muscles grow is because you're doing micro tearing to those muscles and you're building new tissue on top of that. It's basically scar tissue, and that's what muscles are. It's just big, tough scar tissue that holds your fibers together better. And when you're getting massaged, it kind of works those out and gets that scar tissue kind of working in the right direction, keeps them nice and flexible. And it's nice. And that's kind of why I started the tanning thing too, because the tanning booths are ones you could stand in. It's ultraviolet light, and when you stand on it, it has an ultrasonic vibration coming in through your feet, which can promote HGH in the body. HGH, for those of you who don't know, is human growth hormones. Now, usually you have to take drugs to stimulate things like that, but with this with these things, it's naturally occurring with the ultrasonic vibrations. So. It's and you get a tan. I'm a fucking white dude. I am white as they fucking come, white as a sheet. And I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, I'm sick of being this fucking white. It's almost summertime, I'm gonna get
we found out over St. Patty's Day that you are Irish.
Yeah, and everyone knows the fucking Irish are the palest of the pale.
You are looking kind of red.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was working. It's just really bright fucking light, and it was really warm, but I was only in there for 5 minutes. I was like, this ain't going to do shit, but whatever. She told me this is what I need to do, and so I got out, went home. I was feeling kind of itchy. I get home, take off my shirt. I'm red as a fucking lobster. 5 minutes. 5 minutes in this bitch, and I'm already fucking laying down a base. Love it.
Nice. Well, I guess you're still kind of weird for going in a tanning booth, but
yeah. Well, when you think about tanning, automatically it's Jersey Shore, the orange douchebags, the tanning mom, the brown tanning mom that looks like a fucking turd with eyes. Holy shit! Yeah, that's automatically what people think. But tanning in moderation can be good. I do like a little color in my skin. I'm very white, and it just doesn't look good on me because I'm very hairy too. So, yeah, when you cross hairy with pale, it's black lines on a white piece of paper, basically, So, the way I figure it, I tan a little. I'll just look more natural.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm going for. I mean, I'm a single lad. Gotta look good for the ladies.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So most people today were freaking out about this North Korea business, and I just wanted to say my little piece on it. This is something I haven't heard anyone else notice or point out, but if you think about North Korea as a country, like topographically on a map, it's half of an island, the northern half of an island called Korea. America is a vast, large country. Now, even if they had nuclear powers, they wouldn't be able to get everyone in the country, where I think we have enough nuclear power to take out that entire little half of an island. I
don't think we'd use it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people will die and it'll be sad and everything, but ultimately we wouldn't.
And I heard yesterday on the news that North Korea had mentioned several U.S. cities: Los Angeles, New York, and Austin.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
Why?
I was like, maybe they hate Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Maybe they hate South by Southwest. Maybe they're hoping to kill the hipsters and make it cool again.
Or maybe they just don't like hippies.
They don't like hippies. They should be going for fucking San Francisco or some shit like that.
Those hippies turn into hipsters.
Dude, hit the hate Ashbury. They still think it's the 60s over here, man. They still think it's the summer of love, baby. For all they know, they're right.
Yeah, well, you got Kim Jong-un. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, the son of Kim Jong-il.
And he's a huge Dennis Rodman fan, so, yeah.
Why?
Because he hoped he would get to meet Carmen Electra. That's how far behind they are.
I guess so. I don't know. I thought everyone was just freaking out a little bit too much about it, and I just think they're fear mongers. That's all it is. They're just trying to scare us and make us stop our lives because that's their whole prerogative. And it kind of shows the people in the country, yeah, we're in power. We can threaten America, and they ain't gonna do shit about it. That's kind of their whole way of thinking. And every time they have these little threats, I always take it with a grain of salt. And I never give it a second thought. But I just wanted to point out that they're a little country, we're a big country in size.
Yeah,
it would be hard.
And size does matter.
I think in this case it does, especially with something that small. I mean, it just doesn't. It's not a very big area to cover, But I could be totally wrong. Whatever. So yeah, like I said, it was a pretty good week. Very bittersweet. Gonna miss my homies. They're gonna miss my chicken dance.
Wait, you do a chicken dance at work?
I do. They call it the chicken dance, but it's just my little dance I get into every time I hear bands that make a dance.
Oh God!
Every time I hear some jam, I throw my arms behind my back and I just oh.
For those that are going to be listening to this podcast, I am taking pictures of this podcast because we haven't figured out how to do the video part of it yet.
Well, that's going to come whenever we get better streaming quality, and better streaming quality will come when we get better revenue. For the time being, we're just going to focus on trying to get this on iTunes, but once we get the quality ship shape and where it's iTunes ready, it'll be perfect for that sort of thing. You know, it's just it's taking time. You know, we're trying to perfect everything, get a good show for everyone. We want a good quality product that people can listen to all the time. We're trying to get some guests on here, and we got a bunch lined up, guys. So but I like it when it's just you and me, man. It's fun.
Yeah,
this is cool. We can get down to business.
Yeah, and last week was really cool. It was our first guest appearance, and we had a studio audience.
Yeah,
it
was nice.
So
studio audience, if you could call it that. If you could call it that.
Well, we have the whole 10 podcast man cave studio going on here now. Brand new, or not brand new, but our second weekend, right?
Yeah, this is our second episode from the podcast cave.
And now we had visitors here in various places of this room.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun until after the show. Whenever chaos ensued.
Chaos is never good.
I'd forgot to mention to our guests that we had assigned parking spots outside. I figured they would have noticed the signs and stuff or the big letters on the ground, but to be fair, it was kind of dark and I didn't say anything about it. And really, I should have mentioned it. So I felt greatly responsible for their car being towed. So when they went outside, they thought their car was stolen, but right away I knew it was towed.
Yeah,
I've been there. It's happened.
Been there, yeah.
Well, needless to say, it all got worked out, and we're thankful for Brittany for coming on to the show. And I'm so sorry for all that went down. It fucking sucks. There's nothing more to say about it. It was a shitty feeling. We were gonna do a second half to the show, but it was a bummer. Shit like that kind of brings you down, man.
Yeah,
it hurts my heart.
Brought the whole mood of the show down for tonight.
No,
see, I wasn't even gonna bring that up.
That's old news, man. We're on to new shit right now. It's new beginnings. I'm at a new beginning. I'm at a good crossroads in my life. A guy this week was talking to me about it. And he was so you're feeling pretty good about this job and stuff. And I know there's doubts and everything because that's just how it is. They're hoping I'm gonna come back and take back over on my station because no one else wants to do it. It's one of the more laborious jobs. And I just said, look, man, this is either a window for me or a wall. So, it's either the beginning or the end. So this needs to happen. There's failure's just simply not an option, not anymore. It's not a luxury I can afford anymore. So it's all about new beginnings. It's a little scary. It's a little scary, but good things are gonna happen if you keep that positive mentality. Good things will happen. And and that could be applied to anyone's life. Any one of you out there listening right now, that it could all turn around. It's all about it. All it takes is a beginning. It can start whenever you want, right now, tomorrow when you wake up. Don't procrastinate. Just do it. New beginnings are good things. Everyone knows it. It's kind of like when you get out of a shitty relationship and you're at the end of the story and you meet someone new and they touch your lives and they make you feel really good inside and you're excited to hear from them and see them and you turn on your phone and see that text from them and you love it and that's kind of what a new beginning is. It's a little scary. You kind of know that this can't end well ever because no relationship ever really does. I mean, the best case scenario, you guys grow old together, have many children, and then one of you dies.
So it ends.
Ultimately, that's the best case scenario. It's not going to end well regardless, but it can go well. So you look forward to new beginnings. That's kind of the feeling I got now. I feel like I've just met someone that's going to change my life. And ultimately, I'm not going to work at that job anymore. Someday I won't be working at this new job anymore. But for the time being, this is the beginning, and I'm going to enjoy it and ride it for as long as I can. So, new beginnings, bitches.
New beginnings.
To new beginnings. Slauncha. Beer me, bro. Oh, I love beer. Beer. I saw Prometheus this week. Holy fuck.
Tell me about it.
It was if I had to describe it, I would say it was a love letter to H.R. Geiger. Are you familiar with H.R. Geiger?
No.
He does this very, very post-apocalyptic style art. It's very, very complex. It's very biomechanical. He designed all the stuff from the original Alien movies.
Okay.
Spoilers for anyone out there. If you haven't seen Prometheus, just skip the next 10 minutes of this conversation. This is a big spoiler. Prometheus. Are you gonna watch this, Justin?
Probably not. So you can
okay.
go ahead
So
and
I spoil it. Okay, you don't find out until the last 10 seconds of the fucking movie, but Prometheus is the definition of a prequel, and it is a prequel to the Alien movies.
Oh.
Like where the aliens, and you're not even inclined kinda to this. The whole movie, you don't find out until like the last frame of the movie, you know, and it's fucking crazy. I was like, what? You know, I'd kind of heard a rumor about that, but I didn't see any inclination towards the whole movie. Besides the art and the conceptual design, I mean, it was a very beautifully designed movie. Everything, the spaceships, the characters, the planet, everything was just spot on. It was beautiful. I've never seen a movie like that. It was very vast. Ridley Scott did a killer job putting that together. I don't know who the production designer was, but it was a total love letter to H.R. Geiger. If you look at his art and you look at this movie, it's just like, you know.
Wow. I remember the original Alien with Sigourney Weaver.
They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
So yeah, I mean,
yeah, and all those aliens were designed by H.R. Geiger through his artwork and stuff. I mean, I think he was very hands-on with the making of that film. Don't quote me on that, but it was either that or they used his art for the concepts.
Probably.
And those are some of the most inventive, creative aliens. Because before that, what did fucking aliens look like? They were either lizard people or fucking big-headed grays or
Roswell.
You know, yeah, the grays basically. I mean, you think about Star Trek, and they had all kinds of weird, different aliens. They had the little furry ones that were balls that were filling up the spaceship, and they had the lizard one that Kirk's fighting on that California mountain. You know, they had all kinds of different aliens. But I mean, as far as depth and originality goes, I would say H.R. Geiger's version of aliens were fucking just they were the most original. Very, very, very conceptual. It's pretty to watch. I mean, to think that this came out of someone's mind and it just kind of shaped into its own thing, you know. The story's interesting too. I'm into the story, but you know that line in the movie where the guys go, "Game over, man, game over." That was totally improvised.
No way.
Yeah, that wasn't in the script at all. The guy just kind of was like, "That's it, man. Game over." He just started saying that.
Was he just tired of acting, do you think?
It was a good line. That was one of the most memorable lines from the movie besides they mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Yeah. So, Cody, why don't we tell our listeners how to get in touch with us and how to follow us?
There are a couple ways to get a hold of us and stuff. You can find us on Facebook or Twitter. Just, you know, look us up, Existential Nightmare Podcast. Go to your YouTube, you know, and if you found this video, you've already found us basically. There are lots of ways.
We're on like Twitter, Facebook. We have 4 different email accounts, and I like to throw this in during the middle of the podcast only because it just reminds people, hey, if you have hate mail to send us, I love responding to hate mail.
And I love responding to love mail too. Guys, be positive. Can we all just connect our chakras together? Can we connect like the blues from fucking Avatar?
Jesus.
Can we put our braids together and connect?
Dude, you keep your fucking braid away from me.
Hey, namaste. Namaste.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, I had a hippie moment there. Have you heard about this case of Jonathan Maybe?
No.
This judge Judith Retchen, and she had I'd read this story and it fucking blew my mind. But in a Washington D.C. jail, there was a quadriplegic, and his name was Jonathan Maybe, and he was in going in for marijuana possession. He's a quadriplegic, okay, and she had sentenced him to jail for 10 days, but the jail did not have the necessary equipment to take care of him. He was on support. He needed a breathing apparatus, a wheelchair, obviously.
Sure.
I mean, he had to operate his wheelchair with his mouth and shit, like hawking and shit.
Hell.
I mean, he could talk and everything, but he had marijuana possession, and knowing this, the judge just didn't give a fuck, put him in jail. It was ultimately his death sentence. He died 4 days into his sentence because he didn't have the breathing support. He was in the hospital earlier that week, and prosecution didn't seek charges against him, but this judge wanted to be a total dick and wanted to say, look, you mister, you dying mister, you can't have this illegal substance that sprouted from the earth naturally. You can't have this wonderful thing that will never kill you no matter how much of it you smoke. That's legal in 2 states now, and has medical legalization in 27 states. 23 states.
3 states it's legal in.
3 states? What's the third?
California.
Full legalization?
Well,
in California?
with a prescription, but it's legal.
Well, yeah, medical legalization's in 27 states.
You can go to California, go to the doctor and say, I have a cough, and he'll give you that fucking prescription card. It's legal in California.
Yeah, Rogan always says, I get headaches, and the doctor's like, why do you get headaches? I get headaches every time I think about why this shit's illegal. So, yeah, I mean, you can, of course, but I mean, like, full-blown legalization to any citizen over the age of 21, I believe, is in Colorado and Washington State.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a death sentence for this guy, and he died within 4 days of being in jail. I mean, and she knew this. She knew what she was doing. She just wanted to be a total dick about it, and make this statement that this, folks, listen up, you fucking cunts. Okay, it's happening. Okay, this shit will be legal. You can't stop it now. Okay, you can't stop this shitty fucking 100-year prohibition you fuckers have been pulling with us for however long. Okay, the wool has been pulled from our eyes. People are starting to see the fucking truth that this isn't the evil reefer madness drug that we saw back in the 50s. This is something therapeutic, something that cures cancer, something that can enrich and enlighten your lives and make you much happier, and is better for you than the legal substances, alcohol, medicine, pills, fucking.
Well, hold on. I just have to correct you on one thing. Reefer Madness was not in the 50s.
When was that made? I thought it was 55.
30s.
30s? They had cameras in the 30s?
They had silent movies in like 1920, dude.
Well, I wasn't around.
Well, no shit. Reefer Madness is like super fucking old.
Are you online? Look that shit up.
I am.
I want to know, man, because that movie had sound and shit. I knew they had silent movies.
Yeah, it was one of those that Montgomery Burns calls a talkie.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those.
Kind of, but it had vocals in it. You know what? I might be wrong. It might be 50s, but it was super like prehistoric kind of shit.
Give me a date on that. I want to be sure. I don't want to lead folks down the wrong direction. But yeah, I mean, come on, folks. It's fucking over, dude. Can we just please be adults and move on? Can we please just legalize this awesome, wonderful thing that everyone loves and only stupid, small-minded morons hate?
I kind of hate it.
It's all right, man. I mean, it's not for everyone, but neither is alcohol, and neither is cigarettes, and neither is prescription drugs, and neither is caffeine, neither is fucking aspirin. I mean, there's a lot of shit that isn't for everyone, but this thing, it doesn't kill people. It doesn't cause deaths directly. Even indirectly, you can make a good case for it, man.
I don't know. I've seen people shot over it.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's indirectly.
I've seen people shot over money. Should money be outlawed? Fuck no.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're totally right. It should.
Come on, man. Correct me. Go ahead.
But I've heard stories about people getting shot over cheeseburgers and
cheeseburgers should never be fucking outlawed.
and war and all this other shit that's not even kind of outlawed and fucking. I mean, we're talking about pot, you know. I mean, that's like, you know, it's just.
Cody, are you stoned right now?
I know, it's so stupid. It hurts my head to think this is still illegal. I can't believe it's still illegal. It's cool to see this progress that we made, and it's only going to get better from here. I'd say by the time the next presidential election rolls around, we'll have at least 4 or 5 more states, and I think Texas will be. I firmly believe that Texas will at least be in medical grade legalization.
You know better than that. 1936.
1930. You were right. See, I was totally wrong. I said the 50s. You're 20 years on. Good call, man.
Thank
Good
you.
call.
I actually watched it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it too once when I was a kid, but it's propaganda, so I don't know.
It's kind of funny. I watched it.
Oh yeah,
I watched it a couple.
It's
weeks
hilarious.
ago.
It's hilarious to see how people.
It's on Netflix.
I mean, it's like a fucking melodrama, you know.
It's almost like a silent movie.
Totally. Holy fuck! I've been watching a lot of Netflix movies. They have some great indie films on there, man. Holy fuck!
You know what my favorite thing to watch on Netflix here is lately?
What?
Navajo Cops.
I guess I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
honestly, did you ever watch Cops?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Who hasn't?
Whenever I'm feeling bad and feeling like, oh crap, my day was horrible, I watch Cops and I feel instantaneously better. I watch Navajo Cops, and even if I have a good day, my day is better.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No,
Navajo
dude.
Cops. Well, what about movies and shit? I mean, do you watch any independent films at all? Have you ever been into indie films?
I'm not a movie guy.
I remember once when I was younger, I had full blown access to cable, and one of the channels I had was IFC, and I just glued myself to IFC because I just.
Were you looking for tits?
No, I loved indie film.
You were looking for the gay porn aspect, weren't you?
No, not at all. There was a lot of good indie film in there, man. I mean, I just saw some great pictures. I think one of the first ones I saw was kids. I mean, everyone sees kids at some point, and I was like, I can't believe this is a movie. And then you find out that none of these guys were actors. I don't even think Chloe Sevigny was an actor when she made that.
I never saw it, man.
You never saw Kids?
No.
It's one of those movies that a lot of people fought to make it mandatory to show to children in school during sexual education. Kids, okay. Shorthand. Kids is about a guy named Casper who goes around and he fucks virgins. That's his thing. He loves virgin chicks, and none of these people in this movie are actors. And he goes around and he just fucks virgin chicks, and he doesn't know it, but he has AIDS, and he's spreading it to all these girls. And one of the girls goes to the doctor, finds out she has AIDS, so she spends the whole movie looking for him, and he's spending the movie trying to fuck a virgin. She's trying to stop this from happening. And by the time she finds him, he's in there fucking a virgin. She's drugged out on MDMA, so he gives the virgin girl AIDS. All the girls that are virgins that he's fucked has AIDS. She passes out on the MDMA on the couch. His friend goes over and fucks her, gets the AIDS, and fucking it's just everyone has AIDS at the end of the movie.
That doesn't sound like a very happy ending.
No, it's not, and that's why they want to show it to. That's why people push to make it one of those required things that they showed to kids in sexual education, because they want you to be scared of that sort of thing. And it's true, man. I've been to the San Antonio AIDS Foundation whenever I was doing medical assisting, and it's not pretty seeing those people. I mean, the other students were cringing, and they were making. I mean, I was like, stop it! You're making them uncomfortable. I mean, look, these are just normal people. They just got caught in a shitty situation. And that's just how it happened, A lot of stuff like that happens, and there's a lot of things that are being made, that need to be made necessary in schools, and a lot of things that don't need to be made necessary. I think it's important that kids start learning about sexual education and everything, and kids being a big part of it. I thought that was a great movie. It was kind of cool. But watching a lot of other indie films, there was Skateland. That was kind of cool. It's kind of like Adventureland. Same title and everything, and it was a timepiece too from the 80s. But this one took place at a skating rink, and the guy on the skating rink was closing down, and it wasn't the best movie I've ever seen, but it was all right. The Company Men with Tommy Lee Jones and Ben Affleck, that was excellent. Kind of about the our recession and what happens to higher paid executives when companies do cutbacks and cut them out of the picture. That was a good little film. Jesus, there was a lot of good indie films. I mean, when you talk about indie films, I go all the way back to George Washington, and even Kevin Smith had his humble beginnings as an indie filmmaker with Clerks. Clerks was a total indie film, and that was a great movie. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on. And I've just seen tons and tons of indie films. There was Roller Coaster. That was a fucking weird movie. A lot of the indie films I enjoy are coming of age tales. About kids coming up into the world and these harsh realities. There are these things that they just simply won't show you in mainstream films that these indie films kind of cover. Like just to name a few: rape, AIDS, shit like that, fucking murder, hard drug use, like the real drug use, what it really looks like. I believe Spun was an indie film. I'm not sure, but that was an alright film. Spun was alright. Yeah, but have you heard about this new thing? They started taking dodgeball away from schools. They outlawed dodgeball at certain schools.
Well, why the fuck would they do that?
Because of bullying.
Oh, I'm sorry. So throwing a ball at people.
Now, mind you,
random people.
At this particular school, where they outlawed it, they were using the Nerf dodgeballs, not the hard red ones. Do you remember those?
Oh, dude, they were
just
made like by Rubbermaid.
Yeah. There was a handful of parents who were complaining about dodgeball and their kids getting picked on during dodgeball. Now, instead of just removing the kids from the activity and letting everyone else have their fun, they decided to get rid of dodgeball, bombardment, any other targeting human target sports.
I got an idea. Why don't we remove the parents?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a logical. Was no one at that meeting saying, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't, stop doing this thing"? This we did this when we were kids, and this seems to be a tradition. No one's getting hurt.
Yeah, even the Nerf dodgeballs. Seriously, those parents need to get their heads out of their goddamn asses. Have them shoved so far up their asses when they jump, they disappear.
I understand bullying sucks and everything, but it's just one of those. It's part of growing up. If no one's getting seriously hurt, and it's not a super embarrassing issue for the kid, because that shit can be traumatic and it can make kids turn.
It's a Nerf
but
ball.
We can't Nerf the world. We can't bubble wrap everything for everyone. Just to. We're making soft kids. We need.
That's why when I play dodgeball with my kids, I use rocks.
We need to make.
You just got that, didn't you?
We need tougher kids. It's everything's getting softened. It's the same thing with handing awards out for participation, get trophies for participation in sports, getting rid of dodgeball. You need more kids that are tougher so they can stand up to these fucking bullies and shit.
Okay, I gotta say this. If there are any of those parents listening to this podcast right now who think, "Oh my gosh, my kid got hit by a Nerf ball during dodgeball and he is traumatized for life," go fucking kill yourself.
Well, they're just worried about their kids. I wouldn't go so far as to hate them for it. They're just ignorant. They don't understand. There's just a lot of stupid fucking people who just. I get it. No one wants their kids to be picked on. No one wants that sort of thing to happen to them. But that being said, it seems like...
Cody, I'm telling you right now, those parents who are trying to remove the Nerf dodgeball from the school are the ones who are going to run the country one of these days, and they need to be fucking eliminated.
Yeah, but these kids, they aren't handling this. They aren't processing this properly. It's going to the parents and crying and getting their fucking way. That's not how you fucking handle situations in life. When I was a lad, and I was in a much younger lad, and I was in junior high and stuff, and I loved dodgeball. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the most athletic. I was far from the biggest kid there. I was lanky. I was about average height, and I wasn't the most popular kid by any means. And of course, there were the bigger, tougher, more popular guys. But, dude, I made it fucking hell for them, dude. They could not hit me, dude. I made it a point to try my fucking hardest to make to make their lives a living hell on
sure.
the dodgeball court.
Absolutely.
That's
That's
where
what you should have done.
Yeah, you rise to the occasion and you make yourself the king of that day. You know, you can't keep cowering down to that sort of shit. There was one dickhead in particular, and he
You
was,
want to name names?
yeah, sure. His name was Alex, and he was the biggest, dumbest douchebag in the entire fucking school. You know, I mean, and I didn't find out till later on in life, but his dad was a fucking dick, and he always beat him up and shit. And he had a pretty shitty upbringing. He grew up in a shitty, broken home, and you know, I kind of knew that sort of thing growing up. I knew not to pick on other kids because of things like that. I always stood up to the fucking bullies. I always made it harder for them to fucking pick on anyone else. I refused to be a fucking victim. And dude, I mean, there were moments where I would be flying through the fucking air. I'd catch their fucking ball, throw it at them when they weren't looking, get them all out. I would win games like that. I would be the game changer. Dodgeball was my shit, and not because I was faster, stronger, or popular. I tried my hardest and I made it hell on him. Oh, and it burned his fucking ass, dude. Oh, I believe he took it out on me later on, but I made it hell for him, dude, and that's what I wanted to do. He wasn't going to fucking take that away from me. There were times in when we'd play basketball and shit, and he was taller than me, dude, but I didn't give a fuck. I'd get defense on his ass, and I'd be all over him, dude. I mean, I would be all fucking over him. He'd hate it. He'd fucking throw elbows. He'd bump me back as hard as he can. I'd hit the ground, get right back up, and swat that fucking ball out of his hands, man. Every fucking time, and it drove him nuts. He'd be like, "Stop it, stop it." He would tell me to stop it. Stop what? Playing defense, dick? Why don't you do your fucking job? I ain't gonna make this easy for you. Step down, motherfucker.
Yeah. And now we have the sports side of Cody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was my mentality back in those days. You know, I was a real scrappy kid. I got in a ton of fights, and I got in so many fights at some point that that fucking it affected it started affecting my record. My parents were getting very disappointed in me. I started being punished all the time, and eventually I was trained to not want to fight kids, you know, fight people. So I'm gonna take a break here for a second.
Well, actually, Cody, at this point, we need to remind people how to get back in touch with us again.
Okay. Yeah, just Existential Nightmare Podcast. You guys know how to get a hold of us. 10 podcast, TEN Podcast. We'll be right back after this. Hold on.